In this episode of Working with Work, I'm going to show you how I am managing my email now that my beloved Newton has gone. Hello and welcome to a rare episode of Working with Work. My name is Pullein, and in this week's episode I thought it was about time to show you how I am managing my email now that Newton Mail has disappeared. Newton Mail kind of disappeared last September, and I've been experimenting for a while on different types of email applications, and eventually I've migrated back to Apple Mail, and there's a number of reasons why I did that, and I'm going to show you exactly the reasons why in this week's episode of Working with Work. Now, before I go any further, I would just like to say, if you do like this episode, please click on the like button below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe. Okay, let's go into my Mail app of choice, and I will show you how I am managing my email right now. Okay, so here is my inbox. Now I've just put some emails that were in my trash or in my archive and just put in there just for demonstration purposes to show you how this works. Now let's start off down this left hand column. Basically what I have in all my email accounts, I have 3 email accounts: my carpullein.com account, my fantcorp.com account, which is my English language business, and iCloud, which is my personal account. And within these, all of these email accounts, I have 3 main folders. These are the 3 folders that I use every single day: Action This Day, Reference, and Waiting For. Now, Action This Day are for emails that need some kind of action within the next 24 hours. And that is my rule, within the next 24 hours. If I cannot respond to an email within 24 hours, I will email the person who sent me and explain, I'm really sorry, I can't respond and I need a bit more time. But essentially, there's a 24-hour clock on that, on any email in my Action This Day. Reference is for things that I'm dealing with right now. So recently, or last September, I went to Hong Kong on a trip with my wife, and that we get emails from the hotel for confirming the booking and flight itineraries and stuff. That would go into my reference. Now, as soon as I got back to Korea after my trip to Hong Kong, I immediately emptied out my reference folder. I'm going to say that now. Yes, sure I did. There's nothing in my reference folder now because I'm not actually waiting for anything at the moment. And waiting for is obviously self-explanatory, anything that I am particularly waiting for. Now I have this set up in all my accounts, so you can see that in FanCorp I've got FES and then Action This Day, Reference, and Waiting For. And I've got same for my productivity business: Action This Day, Reference, and Waiting For. Now I do have 2 additional folders in my carpullein.com email account, simply because anything that comes in, orders from my learning center and new students from my learning center, I like to keep track of those on a daily basis. So that actually is set up as a smart mailbox. Actually, this is just through Gmail. And the rule basically is any email that comes in with this particular title gets put into that account, into that folder, I should say. So essentially that's how I have my folder structure set up, and it's been working for me for years. And anyone who's taken my email online course, Email Mastery online course, you know this structure. You should be using this structure. Now, the reason why I am using Apple Mail is simply this section here, Smart Mailboxes. Now, as hard as I've tried, and I've looked in almost every email application out there, not one of them has what I describe as my unified smart mailboxes. Now I tried Spark, and you can set up smart mailboxes, but smart mailboxes in Spark is just related to a filter. It doesn't filter on 3 accounts. You just have to any email that you start and so on. So basic, simple smart mailboxes. But what I was looking for is what Apple Mail gives me, which is this. It allows me to create rules. So I call this my Action This Day, of course. Smart mailbox name contains messages that match any of the following conditions. So any message in the mailbox CP Action This Day any message in FES action this day, any message in iCloud action this day will be put into this account. And I've got the same for reference. Today is just an Apple Legacy Smart Mailboxes, any emails that came in today. So let me show you how this works. So let's say I got this email from Amazon and I think, oh yes, I really want to buy the Grand Tour game. I don't. But let's just say I did. I'm thinking, right, but I'm not going to do it now. I want to deal with that later. I haven't got time now. All I need to do is just drag it into my action this day. Done. Now let's say as I'm reading through this, I'm thinking, yeah, okay, this one is something I want to read later. I'm going to put that in action this day. Now, that's basically how it works. So now I'll have to look at is action this day. Now this one here, this Instagram one, came into my FES action this day. And you can see that's in here. This one is from iCloud and you can see that there, and iCloud you can see that there. So this is now unified and I can deal with these emails within the 24 hours that I want. So why do I need Mail Butler? And I mentioned that in the introduction. Well, Mail Butler adds a little bit of additional functionality. Basically the functionality that I was using in Newton Mail that Apple Mail on its own does not have. So Mail Butler basically is a plugin or an extension that connects to your email. And what essentially it does is it adds additional functionality like waiting for. You can actually snooze an email. You can actually time email to be sent at specific times. You know, that's what Mail Butler does. It just adds that additional functionality that Apple Mail doesn't have. But I don't actually use snoozing, and I very rarely use delayed sending. But what I do use is the connection between Todoist and Evernote. Now, essentially, we'll take the easy one. Now, let's imagine now that Sean sent me this email, and Sean is, this is just a newsletter, but if Sean sent me an email asking me to do something, and I think, right, okay, this is a task. What I'm going to do is I go up to here and add task to email. So I'm going to add the task. So reply to Sean's request about productivity courses. Let's just say that's what I wanted to do. All I have to do now is hit return, and that's now going to go off to my Todoist. I will show you in a moment. And you can see right here, I've got a little indicator there to say that there is a task associated to that. Now what I can do is just archive that, and it's going to disappear. Okay, so let's now say that this sale here, I'm thinking, oh yeah, I would really like to buy my dog a new coat. My dog's not a big dog like that. My dog's probably about this size. I thought, oh right, they're on sale. I really want to buy this. So let's say I want to add this to Evernote. Well, what Mail Butler has done is it's added an Evernote icon up here. If I click on this, I can now send a quick note. When that basically that just automatically sends that to Evernote, and I don't have to do anything, and I have it set up to go to my inbox. Or I can create a note, and if I click on that, it will now give me the option to add tags. I can send it to whatever notebook I have, you know, or I can add a few notes in here and add whatever I want to add. I can also set reminder from here so that it can come back and remind me when I want to be reminded of it. So I can just save that in there now, and that's going to go to my inbox. So that's essentially another reason why I'm using Mail Butler. So let's go see what happens in Todoist with that note from Sean. So as you can see now in my Todoist, I have the task. It's just come in, reply to Sean's request about productivity course. Now the beauty of this, and I'm using a laptop here, so this might not actually work the same on a desktop, but when I click on this icon here, what will happen is that email will come in right now. And sure enough, now I can just go and say, all right, yes, I can hit reply, and I can just quickly reply to Sean's email. Done. Fantastic. Really, really easy. Now in Evernote, I just need to sync this, so we'll just sync that. Sure enough, now that's come in, and it's come in into my Evernote account. All I have to do now is, if I want to respond to that email, I want to see the original one, click on that, and again it's going to open up immediately, and I can do whatever I want to do with that email. And that's one of the powerful things about Mail Butler. It gives me that kind of functionality, the functionality that I want. And Apple Mail is such a solid mail application. I know a few years ago there was a problem with Gmail accounts, but both my productivity business and my fan court business, they all run through Gmail, and I'm having no problems at all with those accounts now. And so that's why I have gone back to Apple Mail. I used it for years and years and years before I moved to Newton. It's such a strong, robust, fantastic mail application. Simple, of course, it's Apple, but with Mail Butler's additional functionality, it just makes Apple Mail so much better. So if you're interested in Mail Butler, I'll put a link to their website in the notes and you can have a look at that. There's various accounts that you can buy. I'm not sure if there's a free account, but you can have a look and decide if it gives you the functionality that you want. Well, thank you very much for watching this episode of Working with Work, a rare episode if I may say, and it just remains for me now to wish you all a very, very productive week. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked what you saw and you would like to learn more about becoming better organized and more productive, then get yourself enrolled in my free beginner's guide to creating your own COD system. And if you'd like to learn more about how I can help you, then visit my website at carlpullein.com. All the details are in the show notes below.